The truth has been revealed about the Sasha Vezenkov story of him bolting the Toronto Raptors to go back and play in Europe, as he directly discussed the situation. So we'll discuss his comments as well as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and other members of Team Canada, revealing Team Canada's plans heading into the Olympics without some of their top guys, as Zach Edey has also addressed him not playing for Team Canada as well. So lots of stories, lots of stuff to sink our teeth into. And staying on the theme of Team Canada, this video is brought to you by Rentals.ca. And Rentals.ca are proudly partnered with Team Canada, and while they're supporting our national team defend our home court in the Olympics, they've also been helping thousands of Canadians find their homes all across the country. Whether you're in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary, Halifax, Mississauga, Edmonton, Victoria, St. John's, coast to coast, Rentals.ca have a ton of options to find the perfect place and price for you. Their website's clean, it's easy to use, and you can pinpoint exactly on the map where you're trying to find all the options to live in your area. So find your home court with Rentals.ca. Shout out to Rentals.ca for supporting the channel, for supporting Team Canada, and supporting you guys finding all of the top rental listings all across the country. So their website is linked in the description as well as the pinned comment of this video. Make sure you guys check out Rentals.ca to find the next perfect spot for you to live. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into the latest updates, as we have a pretty wild one regarding the Sasha Vezenkov discussion, as the new Toronto Raptor reveals the truth about bolting. So if you aren't familiar with what's going down, what's happening regarding this story, we'll give you a little update here. Essentially, news came out from Sport Ando, a European publication, saying that Sasha Vezenkov has reportedly decided to return to Europe by signing a multi-year deal with Olympiacos. And this came out, there's discussions, there's rumblings about this while he was still on the Sacramento Kings, but this news came out essentially while he was after he's traded to the Toronto Raptors. There's official reports of him going, and Sport Ando is a publication. Again, things are a little bit more sketchy in Europe for what I've been finding. The comment section have been pointing out, but they are a pretty big publication. When I look at European basketball players, they're one of the sources that I look at. But basically, this is the news, this is the stuff that came out, and this is kind of disheartening, as Sasha is a guy that's an interesting player. He's formerly a EuroLeague MVP, 5.4 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, shooting 38% from 3 and 43% on corner threes this last season. He's not crazy old or washed by any means, 28 years old, be 29 going to next year, but definitely a guy that wasn't really utilized that well with the Sacramento Kings. But maybe the Toronto Raptors on a rebuild talk, we could build up his value to either have on this team when the Raptors are trying to compete in a couple of seasons, or, make another move down the line. Buy low, sell high assets, right? Bobby Webster's all about making 8 to 10 moves that will end up leading the Toronto Raptors to be back in contention rather than the big swings. And just having Sasha bolt back to Europe, back to Greece, would be an unfortunate update. But we have some actual official details revealed, as the GM of Olympiacos has described Sasha as a player of the Toronto Raptors, and Michael Grain shut down the idea that he was going to leave anyways almost immediately as it happened. But again, a lot of people don't really trust Michael Grange's sourcing when I read our comment section. So the GM of Olympiacos has said that directly, and Sasha spoke out on it himself, saying that right now I am a Toronto Raptor. I have to see what they want from me, what their intentions are, but the only thing I really need to focus on is myself, get 100% healthy for next season. That's another thing to also discuss, because Sasha was a guy for the Sacramento Kings, was unhealthy. He missed a chunk of time and then came back and wasn't really in the Kings rotation. But if we read between the lines, if we discuss kind of what he's saying there, it doesn't sound like he's super eager to be in the NBA. I don't think it's specifically to do with the Toronto Raptors, because again, Darko Rajaković, he's European kind of guy, has that relationship there, Bulgarian, with Sasha. I feel like the Raptors would be a cool fit. We don't have a ton of players at that power forward spot. I don't think destination-wise is a reason that Sasha should be disappointed. I think genuinely he has a bad taste left in his mouth playing over on this side of the pond in the NBA for the Sacramento Kings, and is just trying to get back to comfort where he was a league MVP out there over there in Greece. So basically, he didn't seem that eager. He says, we'll see what they want from me. Again, the Raptors are kind of a rebuilding squad right now, so even though he's not old and washed, but he is a vet, so to speak, 28, 29 years old, might not want to be in a destination like this. It doesn't sound like he's crazy eager, and which indicates to me there was some validity, some truth to him trying to go back to Greece, trying to get back to Europe, to go to a place where he's more comfortable. I mean, I'll read it again, right? Like, right now, I'm in Toronto. I'm a Toronto Raptor. I have to see what they want from me, what their intentions are, but the only thing I focus on is myself. Like, that's not a guy that's amped up. I'm ready to come to Toronto, play around Scottie Barnes and these types of things. So it does indicate to me that there was validity regarding the Sport Endo report that people just kind of shot out that wasn't true, ended up not happening, but we'll see how it all shakes out with the Toronto Raptors' intentions. Again, the Raptors are fully loaded right now in terms of roster spots and positioning, so I project a trade incoming, I project it to be coming soon, or waiving or something along those lines for the Raptors to have more sort of flexibility in terms of their ability to sign free agents, make some trades happen and stuff this offseason. But let me know what you guys think about all of that. Let's get off Garrett's a little bit. Let's dive into the second topic of discussion, and we're diving into essentially Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as well as other Canadians speaking out on Team Canada and things that are going on regarding the squad. Now, Team Canada, we're diving into this a ton. Again, Rental South TA, shout out, partner to Team Canada, but we're diving into them a ton because this is Olympic season. This is the biggest chance Canada has ever had at medaling, at, dare I say, giving a run to the United States out there in the Olympics with the roster, the talent that we have on this group. And they're in training camp right now. We've had a ton of news, a ton of quotes come out of this current training camp. So let's dive into them. As Jamal Murray came out and said that everything my game has to offer, hopefully a sense of calmness when I am on the floor, knowing what I did last time when I played, or I had a big leaf on my chest, bringing back those days. Those were fun times playing against other countries. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun to do it again. So it's nice to see, especially where a lot of Canadians are dropping like flies, not playing for Team Canada for whatever reasons. I don't think it's Wiggins' fault from what we've heard. I did my whole tirade on Steve Kerr and them, not letting Wiggins play for Team Canada because, again, they're trying to trade him in the offseason. But it's nice to see a star player eager, excited to sort of jump into contention. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was asked about how him and Jamal Murray could complement each other. Obviously, both being elite. Shai an MVP caliber guard, Jamal Murray an NBA champion. But Shai had this to say regarding the situation. I drive, he shoots. Simple as that. So that's how their games are going to complement each other, right? Shai is obviously one of the greatest players in the NBA right now about getting paint touches, getting to that mini shot, and then Jamal Murray can, as we've seen in the NBA Finals on the biggest stages of them all, right? Jamal Murray can just absolutely go inferno mode and knock down some three-point shots. So that's great to see. It's nice to see that we have some all-star tandems happening on this Team Canada roster. Again, we're not sure what the finalized roster will be, but Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, RJ Barrett, all three guys that have that star potential that are going to be in the mix. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's their elite defender for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kelly Olynyk, right? Our front court is a bit thinner now without Andrew Wiggins and Zach Edey, who we're going to discuss in this vid, but lots of talent. And Jordi Fernandez, the head coach of Team Canada, had some interesting comments regarding all the talent that Team Canada has. Basically, good players don't make good teams. The glue is what makes a good team. Guys come together here and spend time together to work together, to sweat together, to get yelled at together, to have fun together. I think that's the most important thing. And frankly, I love this line. This is something Nick Nurse was trying to pitch, trying to get going for Team Canada, saying it's a 3-year protocol. You got to be in the 3-year mix if you want to be in the mix for this Team Canada squad. But obviously having these players in training camp will be big. I'm hopeful that Andrew Wiggins gets traded in the next week or so he can join up for this training camp push and get things rocking along those lines. But again, we have to hope, we have to be eager. Stay tuned to Warriors Digest. Randy over there has been killing it to get one of these trades happening for Andrew Wiggins because our front line does need to be bolstered a little bit. We do have Dylan Brooks who can play a little bit bigger. Obviously, Kelly Olynyk, as I mentioned. But the biggest loss that we've seen to Team Canada right now is Zach Edey, who did comment on not being able to play. He's saying, I have a duty right now to properly prepare for all that's coming my way with being drafted to the Memphis Grizzlies. The work I put in this summer on my body, on my game, is critical for me to be the best version of myself. I thank you, Canada Basketball, all the fans for your support and understanding. Representing Canada in the Olympics remains a lifelong dream of mine, but for now, I look forward to being the team's biggest fan on this side of the Atlantic, Zach Edey. So, again, if you're not familiar, Zach Edey ended up getting drafted like 9th overall in the Team Canada, not the Team Canada NBA draft, the NBA draft this year, which 8th or 9th I think it was 9th to the Memphis Grizzlies. Absolutely shocking selection. He was projected to go anywhere from really 15 at the earliest to anywhere in the second round. So the fact he was drafted that early shows the Grizzlies have high upside on him, as a lot of Raptors fans did. But you understand them. Hey, the new fresh asset, that's the biggest question is body, how he's going to develop, come into the league, change his sort of physicality, them wanting him to be in Memphis in their system to transform himself going into next year because, again, his 7'4" frame, if he can get a little bit more mobile, he's going to be a beast in the NBA. So I get it. It sucks. you can tell Zach Edey's always been a guy that wants to play for Team Canada, wants to represent the country. It's not a situation where I'm just disappointed in him for not playing for the squad and things like that. The Memphis Grizzlies are just kind of keeping him out. So that's just how it goes here now at this point. But wishing the best for Zach Edey. Excited to keep following this Team Canada team during the offseason. Let me know what you guys think about all of these updates in the comment section down below. You guys best thing as far as subscribe to the channel. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.